Ooh, that's real good. What's going on, people? Welcome back to the shed. Today we're gonna jump back into our rib rub series. See, I got a lot of rubs in my cabinet that I bought over time that I haven't used. So this series would be kind of like a perfect opportunity to either find some new favorites or free up some room in my cabinet. So it's kind of like a stash it or trash it kind of deal. Now the tricky part about using new rubs is you never really know how the salt content is going to come out in the rub when you taste it. So the first time you use it, you're kind of like playing the guessing game to try to gauge how much more or less you're going to use in the next cook. So, let's get it popping. On the last video, we used Uncle Steve's shake and they kind of knocked it out the park. I really wasn't sure what to expect, but it turned out to be kind of excellent. On today's video, we're trying out two different rubs. So we got Heath Riles garlic butter and the Steak King by Fire and Smoke. Now I don't know who's gonna come out on top, but I know I'll be happy when it's time to eat. If you guys have a favorite rub that you like to put on your, your ribs, please put it down in the comments and I'll try some of your rubs out the next time. So we're gonna start out by giving these ribs a nice little trim to kind of remove all the loose pieces and the things hanging off, because like I said before, that's just gonna burn. We're not doing like a big time trim on these, just kind of freeing up the edges. Like I said before, anything that's hanging off is gonna burn. So we're just doing a quick little trim up. And sometimes they got this little extra piece sitting up here. I always cut that off because your rub is not going to penetrate that area if you leave it on there. And when that piece eventually falls off, then you're left with a bald spot on your ribs. Let's go ahead and get this skirt section off and give them a good score. So one down. Now let's get a quick trim on this next slab. Same thing. I cut a little bit off this edge. Normally I would use it for sausage, but I'm not making sausage for a little while, and to be honest, I don't feel like even putting it in the freezer. So this one didn't have that chunk of meat, but it does have a little fat. So if you want, you can go ahead and trim that off. Or if you don't, hey, it's your ribs, your choice. All right, go ahead and give this one a score. Okay. As always, we're gonna hit them with mustard as a binder. Let's turn them this way. Hopefully it's still in the shot. All right, so this first one, gonna go down with a coat of this Heath Riles garlic butter. This one, as you will notice, these rubs have two kind of different textures. Looks like the Heath Riles is a more fine texture. And then this Steak King is a little chunkier. It's more like a beef and steak rub, but we're gonna try it out on some pork ribs and see what we get. Salt, pepper, garlic never hurt nothing. I actually put some of this The Steak King, I put some in some scrambled eggs I made the other day, and it was outstanding. So if it can work on eggs, it can work on ribs. All right, let's hit it with another mustard binder or slather or whatever you want to call it. And we're gonna hit the top side. Don't forget your sides. I'm guessing with this one being as fine as it is, probably won't get too much of a bark, but hopefully I'm wrong. And I'm guessing this Steak King, because it's a more coarse rub and it has pepper in it, I'm guessing we should get a little bit better of a bark. But like I said, I could be wrong. And perfect timing, big stupid truck is riding by as soon as I start my video. All right, so that's gonna work. Don't forget your sides. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and let these sit out for a while, and then we're gonna go ahead and get this smoker fired up. I will holler at y'all here in a second. Later. Let's get this beast fired up. I got 3 pieces in there already, but then I like to add some of these char logs in. Kind of help things along in the beginning because they burn hot and they burn for a long time. So we got our char logs in. So let's get this baby fired up. All right, now that we got our fire semi-started, we're gonna go ahead and leave all these doors open and let it draft a lot of air for about 20 minutes, and then we'll be ready to put these ribs on. Later. All right, it's been 20 minutes and this is our fire. So let's get everything shut down and we can go ahead and get to our target temp and get these ribs on. Later. All right. We have hit our target of 250 to 275. So let's get these ribs on. These are the garlic butter. And these are the Steak King. All right, we hit 1.5 hours, so it's time for a spritz. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, not too shabby. So the garlic butter, as expected, there's not a whole lot of texture here, but the Steak King, we got the pepper going on in there, so they're not looking dry. Just gonna give them a little bitty spritz and send them on back in. All right, now this is at the 2 hour and 15 minute mark. As you can see, we're getting some decent color here. These are the garlic butter. Not a lot of texture, but we're starting to get a little bit of color on them. So we're gonna give them a little spritz, although they don't look like they need it. And let them ride for another 45 minutes and we'll come back and give them another spritz. All right, so we have hit the 3-hour mark. 3 hours in, we got some nice color. These garlic butter have actually started to form a pretty decent color. The Steak King is looking great as well. As you can see how they're starting to break open right there. They're almost done. Oh yeah, these are actually breaking. So if you hold them right here, they're breaking. So let me get my thermometer just to see what this temp is in here. So we are at 191. There we go, and 185. So it's running a little hotter on this side. So I'm gonna put this one over here and move this one over. Wow. So these are not quite ready to break open yet. Give them just a little tiny spritz. They're not looking like they need it. And just let them roll on out. So we'll check back in maybe 30 minutes. All right, so it looks like it's been 3.5 hours. So these Steak King ribs are done. They are super tender and they are breaking open. So let's get these off. Real nice color on there, and they burn in my hand. Woo woo. All right. There's the Steak King. It looks like these, looks like the garlic butter has a little while longer to go. They're not quite breaking. They're looking good. Let me take a temperature of them. Let's see where we're at. 87, so we probably got maybe 10 more degrees. I mean 187, maybe 10 more degrees and those should be done. So we'll let those roll a little while longer. I'm gonna check back in here in a little bit. All right, so the Steak King finished first by Fire and Smoke, that's the name of it. Fire and Smoke Steak King. They finished first. The Heath Riles are still cooking. So while I'm waiting, I might as well give it a try. That bone was pretty crooked. All right. Hopefully y'all can see that texture on there. They super juicy. Yeah, man. Let's check it out. Ooh. That's real good. The pepper coming through there, garlic coming through there. And these things are perfect. So if I was you, I will give this Steak King a try. It's real close to, I'm guessing, Texas style ribs, although I'm not from Texas. I've tried to make them, but this is the best one I've had so far. All right, so we're gonna give those, the Heath Riles garlic butter a few more seconds to get finished. And then we will be giving you the taste test of those. All right, man. It's hot. We've been out here most of the day. So the Heath Riles garlic butter finally finished up. It took a little longer than the Steak King. Steak King was outstanding. So let's give this one a try. It's all right, but I don't know if pork ribs was the focal point of, of this rub. I feel like it didn't get down into the meat, so I'm gonna try this again, maybe on some seafood or some chicken or something. But it's not bad. So for this round, I'm gonna call Steak King the winner. All right. I appreciate you guys sticking in. I've gotten up to 1,000 of you guys watching. Crazy old me. So if you're new here, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.